Okay. I've had a question in one of my comments about he's confused as fuck, and this game is confusing as fuck. But hopefully this quick little showcase I'll do here will help him out, the guy that made the comment, and anyone else who's confused or humming and hurrying about buying the game. Now, it's not like Minecraft where you go create world, boom, choose like things like difficulties and stuff. Nothing like that. Your best bet is to have an idea of what kind of playthrough you want to do. Creative, survival, moon, space, Earth-like planet, that kind of thing. Choose, before you even start a world, choose roughly what you want to do. If it's creative, are you going to be building for space? Are you going to be building for a moon? Or are you going to be building for an Earth? When I say Earth, you know, like normal gravity and stuff like that. Then when you start the thing, then you got to choose what happens. But for this display, for this showcase, I'm just going to show the basics of how to start a world and where all the options are and everything like that. So let's start a new world. Right? So we want to do an Earth-like planet or something like that. We've decided. First thing you find is these menus here. All these first ones here, they're basically tutorials. The workshop is kind of like pre-created worlds downloaded. So it's kind of like the Steam workshop, hence why it's called workshop. But for this case, we wanted to start a world for our own save. We're going to go to custom. I accidentally called it a free world, but it's custom, and then you go open. So we click on open, and then you get this menu. You can still scroll back to the others at the top with the triggers, but we're not going to worry about that at the moment. We're just going to go, okay, this is why I was saying, go to choose what kind of world you want to do. You have the asteroids. You got the crashed red ship, distant moons, distant worlds, Earth planet, green station, home system, lone survivor, Mars planet, moon base. And then the orbital, red ship, those are kind of variants of the other ones. The red ship is the original tutorial world. It's basically a little meteorite or an asteroid with a platform, and you're free to build, and it comes with 2 ships pre-built. The platform, I haven't played it, but I'm pretty sure it's just a space station. Now the moon base and the Earth planet, they're basically exactly the same, but the Earth planet is normal gravity, grass, trees, that kind of stuff, with a place to start. So it's a base station, not a space station, a base station. And the moon one, the Mars one, comes with the same. I think there's a moon one that comes with it as well, isn't there? No. Now the crashed red ship is similar to where is it? Oh yeah, there's the moon base. So there is a moon one as well. So there's a moon, Mars, and Earth. So depending on, so Mars is more like Mars-like, the moon's less gravity, and so on and so forth. The red ship, they're not crashed, but the same setup basically is what's used for the crashed ship, but the ship is crashed, so you got to repair it and that sort of stuff. The asteroids, I have not played. I'm not game to try it because it's on console. I don't know how laggy it's going to be. Distant moons is multiple planets, but they're moon-likes. Distant worlds are varied planets. And then home system, I believe, is an Earth-like planet, a moon-like planet, and an alien-like planet. Because that's the one I'm playing on one of my playthroughs. So once you've decided on what kind of playthrough you want to do, you choose that save. Then don't click cross just yet. You can push to the right on your D-pad or your stick, and you go across to the right hand side. You can then name whatever you want to call your save, put a description to help you understand what this playthrough is. Then you can choose creative or survival. The guy asked where creative is, it's right there. Don't choose the first ones, go all the way to custom and set it up like this. Yes, you can see creative and survival. Then you've got online and offline. If you go online, you can then choose the number of players. Online has, I'll bring it up, private, friends and public. If you choose private, they have to be invited. If you choose friends, your friends can join. If you choose public, anyone can join. So just be cautious of that. If you choose public, a griefer could join, or someone who just like a 6-year-old kid that likes crashing stuff. He's going to jump on your world and crash your ships into your planet, or crash your ships together. So when you're setting up, you can go name, you can go main playthrough, description, the playthrough where I'm on an Earth-like planet trying to get to the moon, and then you can go creative or survival. Now, if you're in survival, you can still have your cheats activated, and if you're in creative, you don't. You're already cheating anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then you choose your autosaves, yes, and so on and so forth. But if you want to go down, you go advanced, which is triangle, or on the Xbox it would be Y, and then you can adjust all your characters and your world's settings. So just say, for example, you want your inventory to be big. You can go to your character's inventory size, drop it down, have it 10 times the normal size. Realistic would be like you can carry your tools and a handful of metal plates. 3 times is 3 times, 5 times, and 10 times the amount. Same with inventory size, realistic, or you can change the sizes there. Efficiencies, speed, so how fast you grind down your stuff. If, for example, if you turn your welding speed up, you'll weld quicker. If you turn your grinding speed up, you will grind quicker. So you have to be careful. If you're doing a survival and that's turned right up, you could accidentally grind 4 or 5 blocks before you realized. Then you've got things like your environment. Is it hostile or not? As you can see, it's got safe, normal, and then not so friendly. Asteroids, whether you want it to be normal or none or anywhere in between. Then I'm not sure what the sound mode is. I think it's like when you select stuff and like that, does it give a realistic noise? Like when you click on a button, does it go click, or does it have a arcadey sort of like cool? We don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I always set it to realistic, but whatever. World size. If you've got it unlimited, it's like on the PC. It's as big as you want. But if your PlayStation or your Xbox is struggling, you can turn it down. So if you're having really bad problems, you can turn it down to 10 kilometers, which is a pretty small world. Same with your view distance. If your console is struggling, you're getting a lot of stutters, lag, pop-ins and stuff like that, turn your view distance down. That will, if you go to like the lowest one, the PlayStation 4 Slim, my one, seems to handle it fine. It just, as stuff is further away, it won't render it in. If it's further than 5 kilometers away, it's going to, we don't need that, don't render it in, don't compute it, don't do all that stuff, it's fine. Leave it alone, we don't need it yet. So it'll ease that. Then your cooldowns for the respawn of the ships. If you've got someone who spams, or you're accidentally spamming it yourself, you can put restrictions. I leave it. Enables sun rotation is your daylight cycle. If it's got the little grey square in it, that means it's yes. Right now, the sun will circle the planet. Or if you're in space, it will rotate wherever its axis is. Then your duration is how long it takes for it to go from morning to morning, a full rotation. So if you don't want it to change its time, uncheck that and there'll be no grey square in it, and then it won't. As you see, I skip over the daylight time, the day duration. So if you want it to always be nighttime, always be daytime, you can do that. Max objects, again, max objects and max NPC. if your console is struggling, turn them down. So if you go max objects down to say 20, that will increase your performance. Same with the NPCs. Turn that down. There, that's animals, AI and stuff like that. Turn that down. It won't spawn as many, therefore less computing power is needed, and it will perform better. Ship sizes. You can, if it's struggling, put limits on. I haven't needed to. So use your decisions there. Total PCU. This is the console limitations that they've implemented. Each block has a PCU allocated to it. So a standard cube has just say 2. I'll jump into the game in a second and I'll show you. So every block you place adds a 2 to that number. And what's that? 100,000. So you could place 100,000 blocks with one PCU what do you call it? Cost. So I believe it's 50,000 because each one is a 2 if you just place squares everywhere, cubes. And then you got backup saves, or then this is where all the extra stuff is. So it's got things like auto healing, delete respawn ships. So if that is ticked, right now it's not. Go away. Right now it's not ticked. There's no little grey square in it, so it will not delete the respawn ship. It will stay there. You can grind it down and use it for parts. If you tick it or select it, once you've created a new ship or you've created a base, it should delete that respawn ship. Player names, puts the name above the character. Thruster damage. When you use a ship, the thruster shoots the flame at the back. If there's a block in the way, it will damage the block. If that is turned off, like that, it won't damage the block. So if you want to just free build and have no restrictions, will that burn the block? Turn it off. Permadeath and those other two above it, I think they're creative options. So it's like once you're in the game, you can adjust them anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I haven't had them highlighted at any point during this section. Weapons enabled. If you've got a griefer, you can disable weapons. You can't shoot each other. Cargo ships, destructible blocks. If you turn that off, blocks can't be destroyed. I believe that, so if you crash into a planet, your ship won't get destroyed. Tool shakes. Voxel hand is kind of like the map editor. If you disable the oxygen, you don't need oxygen. If you disable the air tightness, then the ship doesn't have to be airtight. Enable convert to station. There's no converting it to ships, but you can convert a ship to a station, which is kind of weird, but whatever. Enable jetpacks. If that's disabled, you can't jetpack around. Spawn with tools. When you die, when you respawn, have your tools in your inventory. At the moment it's on, so you will get with tools. Enable drones. Wolves and spiders, I believe, are the only two enemies. Friendly rocket damage, if that's turned on, then if I shoot a rocket at your ship, it's going to destroy your ship. With it disabled, if you fly in front of me while I'm shooting a rocket, it's not going to hurt you. Progression, they're all pretty explanatory. Economy means you can buy and sell stuff. Weather, if you disable that, the weather won't change, it'll stay as it is. Aim assist makes it easier to aim, and bounty contract. It's all pretty self-explanatory. But if, for example, we now jump into a world, let's continue this world because this is one I was working on earlier today. I've pretty much started an Earth-like planet. It's completely creative, so I don't have to worry. I was testing whether a ship would fly. I built it on my other one, and I sent a screenshot to my friend, and he's gone, "Oh, that looks pretty cool. Does it fly?" And I've gone, "I don't know." So I've plonked it in this world, and it didn't fly. So I'm tweaking it. I'm in creative, just plonking more rockets on, more thrusters on there, not rockets. I keep calling them rockets because, you know, rocket ship, but thrusters, plonked more of them on there. Does it take off? It flies now. There is a butt ton of freaking thrusters on it. It's a large ship that can hold small ships, but it's for planets only. I haven't made it so it can go into space yet. Because as some of my videos have stated, I'm still getting used to the game again. I played it on PC before the beds were a thing. But when it came out on console, I was going, okay, I'm going to buy it. I prefer to play on console because you don't have to worry about yet. Is it the right graphics card? You don't have to worry about all the plug and play. Okay, so I'm in now. Give it a second to load in. Okay, I think we're good. When you first load in, you will almost always, unless you're on the next gens, get this low texture quality look into the blocks, and you'll stutter. Give it a second, you'll be fine. So here's the ship I was working on. So if we can come, okay, so there's the ship I was working on. If we come to the menus of spawning stuff in, left and R3 and L3 are your different menus. So the R3 is your character stuff, or what you do. The L3 is your building stuff. So as we were saying, it was 100,000 PCU limit. If we go L3 and bring a block up, it doesn't matter what block, we'll choose, just say for that example, that one. As you can see off to the right, it's got a heavy armor block. A brief description of what it is, and then it's got the 3 little squares, and it's got PCU 2. That means it's a PCU cost of 2 for that block. If we choose something different, for example, a gyro, that's a PCU of 50. A reactor, 25. I'm not sure exactly what determines which one's more expensive. I don't know whether there's details in it or what. So, for example, like a cockpit, it's got glass and stuff like that, is 150. So I don't know whether it's... I've got a sneaking suspicion it's the amount of detail in the block. So if we look at this one here, let's rotate it around that way, let's say that, and then let's align it to the... is it not going to let me? No, okay, what? Nah, okay, it's not going to let me. Let's bring it, there you go. So it's got the glass, and I believe that's what's costing it so much on the PCU. So the more detailed the block, the more expensive it is to place in the world, and the less of them you can do. So hopefully that's all that how you do stuff and what the settings are is all explained. Now, in saying that, I'm no expert, so by all means look at other videos and stuff like that and get a feel for the water. But if you play Minecraft and you're expecting this to be as simple as Minecraft is and place blocks and all work perfectly fine, it's not that. So for example, this ship, am I in fly mode? No, now I am. Okay. Right. So this ship originally didn't have these big thrusters there, the one on the top, they weren't there. Oh, I keep hitting that button for run, that's not run. If you look up at the guts here, it's got a buttload of thrusters everywhere. Right now they're all turned off, so we're all good. But that's what is needed for this ship to lift the ground. All these thrusters here, and we've got reactors inside which we can get up in here. Got the ladder. I could have just flown up. Red is medical and engineering. Okay, so we're inside the medical engineering bay. We've got the big reactor, which does, come up to it, bottom right, it's got type large warfare reactor. It is a DLC, this particular reactor. There is a standard version that does the same, so you're not paying to win, but this one just looks nicer. It does a maximum output of 300 megawatts, and its current output is 0. These little ones here are a smaller version of that. And if we come around to the back here and click on it, they only do 15 megawatts. So with all these thrusters that are outside, actually I can just look out here, can't I? With all these thrusters out here, you've got to determine how much power is needed. So let's grab a thruster. One of these little ones, for example. Actually, if I come in here, I've got a control panel in here I can click on. That one will work. The list on the left is all the blocks that are on this ship. So you can see right now the highlighted one, AI Defense Combat, that's the one I'm looking at. But if we go down to just say a thruster, atmospheric thruster 21, we can click on it, and off to the side on the right hand side it tells you it's a atmospheric thruster. Maximum output, maximum required input is 2.4 megawatts. So if we say it needs 2 megawatts per thruster and you've got 20 of them, that's 40 megawatts you need. I think my maths is right there. So you got to go, okay, this one here does, not that there, this one here does 15, so that wouldn't run 10 of them. But in this ship here itself, I've got one there, one there. You can't quite see them. Back here you might be able to. Come up here. There's another one in there. Another one in there. So that's 4 of the little ones just in this room, plus the big one. And then if we go to this ladder here, go up here. We've got another backup one here, just in case. So that's 5 small plus the large. The small ones are just in cases. We've got 4 batteries up here. Plus, if we come down this hole, another one there. And we've got the access panel to the large one here. So we can access, put uranium in there, and off we go. These reactors use uranium. There is a reactor that uses ice or hydrogen. I'm not using that yet, but when I go into space, possibly. Because ice is a hell of a lot easier to get than uranium. We've got 4 air vents back here. They're yellows. Why are they yellows? Have I left the door open? I bet you I left the door open. Left the door open. Okay. There we go. If it's pressurized, they're green. If it's unpressurized, they're yellow. If it's turned off, they're red. Or if there's no power. This here is for the turrets, but you can fly the ship from here if you really need to. It has 2 turrets. We come out to the landing bay. There's the ship I've been working on. There was updating people. I can give you a quick little update on that in a second. But, well, lovely weather to show off the guns. There's the guns. 1 on each side, it's a just in case. This planet, which I have played on in another save, that one there and that one there are not friendlies. They will shoot at you. That is the station you start with, and I believe yellows are ores, and the blue there is, I think, a friendly. Okay, let's not get struck by lightning. Yeah, so the blocks aren't a simple just building. Yeah. Running power between. Yes. You don't have to run cables. Come into here. Green means, you know, relaxation, foyer, that sort of stuff. This is a vending machine. Lights are green, so it's got power. But as you can see, there's no wiring. So I didn't have to wire out, because all the generators are back there. There's no power in the front part of the ship. All the power is routed through the frame. So any blocks that are connected to each other will run power. The oxygen, hydrogen, fuels, or that sort of stuff, that needs a connection. The engines out here, those ones there, are basically electric engines. They're like a jumbo jet. They can only work in atmosphere, you can't go into space. Those you don't need. I don't believe they ever need any sort of direct connection to fuel. The other two though, the ions and in fact, look at that now. Let's go into the thruster section. Yep, there we go. Atmospheric thruster is what I'm using. So as you can see, PCU 15, it's got what's required to make it, and as there says atmospheric, works on planets. Then we've got the large hydrogens, or the small ones, they require hydrogen, and that is made from the O2H2 generator. And then we've got that one, which is the ion thrusters, and if you read the description, it requires doesn't say what it requires. Maybe they don't need fuel like these ones. But I know the hydrogen ones do, and they require. If I can get around my ship. Yeah. Okay. There's one just there. There's one just there. And I believe I've got one around the side here somewhere. Oh yeah, there is right there. Those are hydrogen oxygen generators. So if you click on here, it's got ice in it, and it converts the ice into oxygen and hydrogen. So your fuel canisters here, so you got oxygen bottle and your hydrogen bottle. Hydrogen's for your jetpack, oxygen's for you. This planet is an Earth-like planet, so I shouldn't need any oxygen. But if I want to use my jetpack, do that, it'll use fuel. I'm in creative. The save is in creative, so I shouldn't be using any fuel. But if you're in survival, you need fuel. You can come along here, stick your bottle in there, fills it up, put it back out, and if it's in your backpack, you'll get the little bottle icon above your little bar on the bottom left. When you run out of hydrogen, if the bottle is there, it will then automatically refill. You can manually refill it, but I don't bother. It automatically does it, so you don't have to worry about it. Power and health are done through the med bays. These things here. Or the little circular ones, or cryo chambers. I've got the cryo chambers in this ship hidden just up here. One on this side, one on the other side. So if you're logging out in a friend's game, you go into a cryo chamber. If you log out in somebody's game, your character will be just be standing there. If it's not a creative and you're using oxygen and you're using hydrogen and stuff like that, you will die. Or you'll get in their way, you'll get shot, you'll get caught in a storm, you get electric, whatever. Shit will go sideways. So get yourself into a cryopod. Power usage, if you're using a power, sitting in one of the seats, any seat that's connected to the power source will recharge your power. It should also, depending on the seat, recharge your oxygen and possibly your hydrogen as well, depending on the seat. So this seat here is a control seat, like a cockpit, so it should do all of that stuff. Whereas that one will recharge my power, but that's about it. Because that's not an actual... It's just a seat. You sit on it. That's it. So for this ship to run, I've got to have power. So I've got, what did I say, 5? 5 small reactors and the big one for power. I've got at least 3 hydrogen oxygen generators, all in this area. So this is what runs the ship. So if we now go to the cockpit, this door over here open. Let's climb up the cockpit. Okay. Cross or A to jump off. If you make sure there's a spot to jump behind, you should be good for the ladders. Okay, so I've got a switch here set up. So this is thrusters powering on and off. So they're powered off right now, so let's turn them on. Now they're all turning on. And we can jump in the driver's seat. While you're in the driver's seat, holding the 2 shoulder buttons and then using your right stick will rotate the camera. Doing the same thing and moving your left stick back and forth will zoom in and out. But let's release the brake, and then if we push cross, we should lift up. So we're in the air. So it's slow, very slow. Like if I move to the side, it's like really slow, but it flies. I don't want to add any more thrusters to the left and the right, but I was having problems braking, so that's why they got the ones facing to the front. If I come down again, okay, crash landing, but all good. Let's check out how damage we done. No, they all look good. Ah, that's down. Let's repair that. Ooh, that one was really low. But that's why I've got the extra landing gear, because I've been rough landing it. Okay, so they're all good. So that's the main ship. You got little cameras there, so while you're in the driver's seat or the passenger seat, you can view the cameras. That control thing in the back, you can actually manually control the turrets. I've got rear access here, front access on the sides there, but there's also one under here. They get into here. Just in case. So we've got this area, some seats you can sit in to recharge or whatever. Then we've got the ladder upstairs to the cockpit, so if you need to fly the ship or whatever, you can do it from there. That's pretty much all that's at the front. And if we go to the back, we've got our landing bays here. Light controls for the spotlights. Access if you need to get into the actual what's in the ship. So if you need to, for example, do a quick check on like how much fuel the reactor's got, you can come into here, find the reactor in the list. So it's probably going to be all the way down, isn't it? Because I think it's L for large. Landing, large atmospherics. Large air. If I click on that, it tells me I can turn it on, off, whatever. It tells me that it's 300 kilowatt, 300 megawatts. Currently doing none. It doesn't say its current load status. It's not telling me how much fuel's in there. But I can turn it off, so if I in an emergency and turn it off, I don't have to go all the way in. But if I come to here, okay, I have to go to the actual thing, don't I? Bugger. That's why the panel's at the top, because the back one is connected to the back, so you can reload it from outside. So if I come outside, around here, around here. There's one of the moons. That there is a container. You can put stuff into it, and then the conveyor will suck it in to the reactor. So you can put fuel in there, load up the fuel. But that's enough about this ship. Let's quickly pull this little one out. Let's unequip that. There's a version of this on the workshop. So if it's not this version, in fact I could probably show you the version that's on the workshop. But this one here is a lot quicker. But this one's planetary only. The one that's on the workshop is both planetary and space. It's not perfect, but it's a good building thing from. So if I go to my R3, I can go to my blueprint screen and load in what's on the clipboard. There will be nothing on the clipboard right now, I don't think. Yeah, there's nothing on the clipboard. But if I go across to my menus, I can bring up my blueprint screen. Or R1 and circle is the shortcut. Okay, and there's my blueprint screen. So anything I've saved to my blueprints, I can then load in. And this will actually tell me number of blocks, what DLCs it's needed, and how big the save is, what type of ship it is, all the stuff is here. So the ship that's beside me is, let's see if I can find it. Not the rig. Okay, there's the one that's on the construction. So if you go to the, you've got to okay it, so I'll do that in a second. That one can be downloaded, anyone can download. So if I click on it, it will then try and place into the world. Let's rotate like that and go, I think it's the button, there we go. If we place it there, done. Of course I'm in creative, I don't have to build it up. If I'd done this when I was in survival, it would be just a skeleton. You've got to then grind it up using the material. Let's turn it on. Let's change our view. So there's the ship. So it's kind of like a big car. This one, the braking's not the best, but it's okay. It does the job. It has a boot engine bay lid, but I would always land and lock the landing gear before you even touch it. So if I go to up in the D-pad, I can then open up the engine bay. Because of the way the pistons work, it's a physical thing. It's actually physically pushing the blocks. If your landing gear isn't locked, it'll spin. It'll spin out of control. So we've got in here that there is a smaller version of the hydrogen reactors, generators. So it's got ice in it, so it will generate oxygen and hydrogen. So jump back into there. Let's close that up. The yellow one has the same, but doesn't have the hydrogen generator in it. It's got, in fact, let's fly over here. Overshoot. What am I bumping into? Deck. So we're going to this ship. As you can see, it looks a little different here. It's still got the little wing on the back, like that one does, and like that. If we jump in the driver's seat. Actually, even better, let's make a copy of it. While we look at it, with the crosshair on it, if we go R3, we can then go to the blueprint menu, which is that one, and we can go straight up to the top. It's copy grid. Push the right trigger, right shoulder, and then we're just copying that grid. So let's move it out a bit. Right trigger to place. There's a copy of the one that's in there. Now, if that one has fuel in it, this has the exact same amount of fuel in it because there's a copy. So we jump into here, turn it on. So it's slightly different to the other one because this one doesn't have any space jets on it, or space thrusters. It's only got planet thrusters. But let's disengage that. Actually, keep it engaged. Let's open the boot up, the bonnet, so you can have a look. This one's also got a lot of the stuff hidden, whereas that one over here, if you look there, you can see in there quite easily. You can see under there a lot easier. Like it is, I have done a lot of work trying to hide everything, but this one here, there's a lot more of the blocks that are hiding stuff. It's not that noticeable, but it's, trust me, it's there. Okay, so we've got, oh yeah, the reactors in the back. It's got a buttload of little reactors in it. So it's got 3 along the top there. There's another one down there, 1 on each side. 2 off to the side there. If I'm not mistaken, if I poke my head underneath, there's another 2 under here somewhere. Can't remember where, and there was another 1 or 2 under the front here somewhere. Look, it's inside then. Ooh, interesting. So it's got a fair amount of reactors in it, but it's only planet, so it only needs that. And those 2 there are tanks. I'm still figuring out how they work. At the moment, from what I can tell, you've got to place a tank in there, and then it uses that as fuel. So if you're doing hydrogen, you stick your hydrogen bottles in there, and that's what it runs off. But conveyors don't seem to send it in there, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Come back into here. Let's close that. I've got it really slow, so nothing can go wrong. Okay, so that's closed. Landing gear off. And that, oh, there's a little freeze up, but there's its speed and maneuverability. It still isn't the best at braking. Like if you're straight ahead and then try and stop, I'm putting out trying to stop, it still takes a fair amount of time to stop. So if you're getting a good amount of juice going along the planet, like if I try shooting straight down there and oh yeah, let's go flat out and then just try to stop, land, it's not going to happen. You've got to allow for it to land. Brake. The only way I can make it brake better is by putting more thrusters pointing forward, and I kind of don't want to. But if you download the black version, you can change whatever you like in it to make it. Got a little bit of red going then. It's too many thrusters, not enough engines. I believe that's the problem. Touchdown, lock it, okay. Yeah, so every time you start the game, you have to go into here, go to options, go to your game, and go across to the mod IO content. Consent, sorry. Consent. Click on it. It'll bring that up. You go, yes, I agree with Square, and now I can turn around and I can view the stuff that's other people have created. So if I come along to, I believe I can do it while I'm in the game. If I go to there and to there, if I go, okay, so if I go to, I think that one should do it. If if I select it's probably not going to let me do it in game. Yeah, it's not going to let me do it in game. If you're in the main menu, it's taking its sweet ass time. There we go, back there now. If you're in the main menu, so if I go, oh wait, where did I do it from? I'm pretty sure I done it while I was in game. That's a good question, because it's not there. Because if I go down to there and go to game and go down to the consent, it only opens that up. It doesn't actually go to the store. I say store, it's not really a store, but yeah. But if I go to that one, I could have sworn there was a spot in here I clicked on. There is a way to view the blueprints. I'm pretty sure it's in here. You just got to figure out which one it is. Those are the two that are currently of mine, that are currently on the store. They've got the little cog looking thing, they're on the workshop. So if I go to reload all... Oh, that toggles between, okay. And then I'm guessing that... if I click on that one, there we go. So there's the actual creations that other people have made. So I don't know whether PC stuff is on here or this is all just consoles. With the numbers that are there and how long the console has been out, I'm willing to bet a lot of this is PC stuff. Because let's face it, that ship that looks really cool. And it doesn't say off to the side there. Oh, hang on. Yeah, 2020. So yeah, that is 100% PC. Someone on PC has created that ship, and then I can use it on the console version. So if someone's Star Wars destroyer, so if there's a ship you've seen someone use in a stream on PC or something like that, and they've got the ship uploaded to the workshop, good chance is, if you know what it's called, it's here. So you've got the filters, ship, rover, base, and other. Others are things like crates and decorative blocks, and it's not a base, it's not drivable. So my little car, which is in rover, and then I go here, subscribe. Now I'm subscribed to myself. I think it automatically does it. So there's my two things. They're both classified as rovers, as you can see. I can now click on, for example, the XS car. If I don't want to do that. I want to do the. I want to actually use it. Refresh, change page, open item workshop. No, I don't open the browser. What have I done? Okay, is it reloading? Okay. They need to make it more... I hope I didn't delete it. I hope I didn't unsubscribe to it, because I don't want to unsubscribe to my own stuff. Come on, you can do it. Just waiting for it to catch up. There! Come on. Nah, it's not there yet. There's Nift, which is the ship behind us. Come on. Come on. Yeah, this is taking a while. Okay, let's see if we... Oh my god. Stop. Okay, I've backed out. Holy crap. Let's try it again. So if we go into there, blueprint screen, and if we it loads in, okay, if we go down, I've probably unsubscribed to my own thing. If I find it in here, because I saved it offline as well. There's the rig. Okay, access car, there it is there. So if I click on it, it will then import it as the blueprint. So there it is there. I can rotate it, there, and then there. Right trigger to spawn it in. And there's the car. It's just a single seater, it's transport. There's nothing special about it. There's, come up here. 4 wheels, driver's seat, and if you look back there, access to put fuel. I believe it's just got the one little reactor in there, and that's it. It's transport. That's all it is. So let's turn it on. So I think. Oh yeah, if you're in creative and you've got stuff like these ones here, I don't want to use them anymore. If I look at the craft I want to get rid of, bring up the blueprint screen, which is that one. If I go to the dotted line one, cut grid, and then right shoulder, it will say, would you like to remove that? You'll see the little green outline of the cube around the ship. Make sure it's highlighting just the ship you want to get rid of and not something that's important. Go yes, and it's gone. It will just delete it. You won't get any materials back. It's gone. If you're the host and cheating's enabled, so you're in creative or whatever, you can R3, go to your menu, and you can go up, straight up. That's your admin panel. We're going to call it that. If you go to there, let's go to a spot where we better see it. Because they don't put shadows around their text. Try again. Up to there. We've got a list. Do we want to allow creative? Do we want to go invincible? The usual stuff. Then we can go up to the top. Objects. We can cycle through the objects. Got entity lists. So we can go to the different entities. If you're getting weirdness like how I am right now with the weird camera, you need to go to the we want the spectator tool, that one, and we want to go to there and go to that one. None. What have I done? So it's in spectator now. I need to go to, where is it? Well, it's in view, isn't it? Yeah, it's in view. Toggle spectator mode. I need to turn that off. Boom, back in my character. That I'm still getting used to. So it's not in menus, it's in that one. Contracts. I don't know whether that's so that other people can see your name or what. That I'm not sure about. Because toggle signal mode. But yeah, so if you want to change, if you want to delete an object in the world, you can go to entity list, find, for example, the S1, the black ship that's out. And actually, the car will be here somewhere too. Yeah, XS car. If I want to delete it, I'm nowhere near it because I'm not going to be using it anymore, and it's nowhere near me. I can actually go to here, click on it. I can now view the car and go, yes, that's the correct one. And I can go down to here and go remove. If I click remove, It's now removed that vehicle, and then if I now do the in here, go to there, toggle that off, and look out there, the car's gone. So there's heaps of tools here, but there are so many. Like, how many keys are on a keyboard? And they've still got shortcuts because there's so many. Controllers do not have anywhere near that many keys, and there's a buttload of keys that you gotta press and remember. So when you go into them, it tells you like up is R1 and triangle. So if I don't always do that, I can just come in and go R1 and triangle, and boom, it opens that straight away. Same with if I want to go, like my blueprint screen is R1 and circle. So R1 and circle, it's opened that up. I still go through the R3 and the L3s. It's just habit. But if you learn the shortcuts, in theory, if you're on a server, for example, you can rent servers like you do on Conan, DayZ and stuff like that. You can rent a server. If you're on a server and you've got a Garifa or someone's ship they've lost control of their ship, it's gone flying into space. And they've gone, oh, I don't care about it, it's just I don't want it crashing into somebody. You can literally, as an admin, delete it without being anywhere near it, no hassles. You just got to be careful, because if you accidentally click on the wrong thing, because if I do, that was the wrong one, it was that one. If, for example, on an entity list, if I go down, for example, Earth Easy Station, if I click on that, that's the base station. That's the thing, is that I can delete that entire thing. So if I come down here, for example, because this is a testing world, I can go down to here and go remove, and then back out. Wrong button. Wrong button. There. So those icons that were off in the distance, that were friendlies, they're all gone because I've just deleted that entire base. There's still an... where is it? I've seen it. There's still signals over there, but I believe there are a couple little things that are like the ships and stuff like that. I won't delete them, so they'll still be there. If I fly over there, I can check, but I'm not. There's no need. I know that they're still going to be there because I can see the different antennas and stuff. FSTC something and something. There's 3 of them there. There's a B22 or something there. Yeah, so as you can see, 3 friendly signals. So again, I can go in here, go, okay, which one is the one that drill ship? That's one of them. So I can click on that. There it is there. If it's got a remote function, you can remote it. If you want to go to it, you can actually teleport yourself to it. I don't think there's any way to teleport it to you, but if you click on player control, you teleport to its cockpit. If you go to teleport here, you teleport to its location, but not in its cockpit. Stop turns it off, so if it's running, you turn it off. It wasn't running, so okay. Depower turns its power off. Boom. Touchdown. Remove deletes it. I'm going to leave it there because we don't need to get rid of it. If you get stuck like I am here, and you want to go straight to the top, and you don't have to tap a million times on the D-pad, use the left stick. It skips through the menus. So like here, if I'm tapping down, it's scrolling through each one. If I don't want to scroll through each one, just tap down and it skips straight over the bottom, straight to the next menus. Those are if you want to do grids or other shit. Planets, asteroids. I don't know how laggy is going to be deleting an asteroid, so I wouldn't even bother. But in theory, the options are there, so I should be able to go look at that and go, okay, let's choose planets and delete that planet, and I should better delete that planet. But will it crash the game? It's up to you to try. Well, there's the hour. So the two viewers that are viewing, if you're considering getting it and you haven't got it yet, hopefully this helps you decide. If you have gotten it and you were stuck, hopefully this helps you get unstuck. I am at the point now, I think I'm going to start a legit playthrough. Survival, 100%. It'll probably be... I don't want to say 100% because it'll be along the lines of I'll go a planet like this and delete everything from the planet and spawn in one ship or something like that, and then that's what I start from. Because they haven't got a crashed ship starting map. So what I might do is like make on this planet make a wrecked ship, something like that, crash it and then save that as a blueprint, and then start the legit world and spawn that in as a blueprint crashed ship. I've got to then repair it and everything like that. Still humming on how to do it yet, but that's the plan, to keep myself occupied and stuff like that. So yeah, Space Engineers console, it's pretty good. At the moment, it is crashing, but nowhere near as much as I was expecting it to. I had a crash, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I'm getting a crash maybe every 3 or 4 days. And it's usually when I'm doing something along the lines of crashing a ship, or loading a ship, or saving a ship, or something like that. That's this size. I was saving a ship, a version of this, and the game crashed. So, damn it. But I just reloaded it. It did save the blueprint, so I can reload the blueprint. In fact, let's do the shortcuts. If I go to... Okay. I cannot remember for the life of me what it's called. That's it there. Boom. That's if it crashes, eh? No, it didn't crash. Holy shit. But there's the version of the ship before. There we go. Do that. Game crash? No! There we go. So that is a version of this. So as you can see, it's got a lot less thrusters, but it doesn't take off. It doesn't have enough thrust for liftoff. So I spawned it in, got it to fly, and painted it. So I'll probably get maybe this ship, point it to the ground, crash it, save that blueprint so that like half of it's destroyed, and then load that in, and that's my legit playthrough. Delete the stations and any other crafts. So it's literally just that and me. So I'm gonna call the stream, guys. Hopefully you like the video. Hopefully it helps. I'm out here. I'll catch you the next time. See you.